I don't know.
In the chat. So, win this game, game 5, and all is on the line for mYinsanity here as they're currently trailing 1-3. And Cirque player in the bottom left-hand corner. He's been making quite a name for himself as Centrist take us away.
The Zerg player that does play it for Cascade in the bottom left hand corner, who has continued to win 3 games, is it? 3 games straight on. There's the one and only Cascade's Minato. And up in the top right, we do have the one and only Protoss player, knows for his sick all-ins that got straight on, especially in DreamHack. The one and only Protoss player, sorry to say, it is Stardust.
Yeah, Stardust, he made his breakthrough at DreamHack. He, you know, and the best thing about him was he didn't just disappear after that, right?
Yeah.
You know, with his playstyle, a lot of people were thinking, wait, that's brilliant for you, that's brilliant for mYinsanity, getting some exposure, but can he keep it up was the question. Through the rest of 2013, and we saw he can. You know, he came very close again. He got to the semi-finals of another DreamHack. He played very well in a lot of European tournaments he was sent to by mYinsanity. So, great to see a player who really worked so hard to get to where he is today and has been all over the place. Finally get some recognition. And this is actually my first time casting Stardust, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to come out with.
Yeah, he is a definite player. Well, a lot of players will have their 15 minutes of fame where they win a tournament and their team gets a little bit of exposure. Maybe it's not a team that's massive in the Stardust 2 scene, and then all of a sudden that team dies off again and no one knows who they are and no one eventually finds out who they are. There is a lot of players that do only get 15 minutes of fame, as you know, by winning their one tournament. But Stardust is one of them players who came to DreamHack, made an entrance, and consistently keeps making entrances in the tournaments. And I don't think he's going to live that down. He's just going to continue to do it.
We're going to see him, obviously, Gateway expand here as the Gateway is already up, and just get his mothership go out quite quickly, most likely, as he's going to get another probe, which is going to make his main base pretty much perfectly saturated, more or less. And, you know, from here, he just starts up his mothership core. First Stalker's coming out, next on the low ground. He can start walling in. Our Zerg player, we've seen versatility from him so far, today. And this is his third ZVP, so let's see what he's going to... It is his third ZVP, right? Did he play J-Power?
Yes, he did play J-Power.
Yes, okay, so, yeah, he's, let's see what his versatility is like in this game. He's not scouting straight across to the natural, so he's not going to know that this is a gate expand that quickly. But he does actually scout to the right-hand side, and this is actually going to be so perfect, because he's actually going to end up seeing the Stargate immediately, and that's kind of a kick in the teeth for Stardust, because that's just completely unlucky.
Yeah, that's very, very good that he's actually sent the Overlord in this direction to be able to straight that.
Yeah, it's so weird as well, though, because, like, no one ever really does this. This Stalker at the front is turned away by some Queens. No one ever really does this, and, you know, it's just to see it so quickly, and now seeing Oracle being chrono boosted as well, he knows exactly what's coming, and Stardust just doesn't get the best start to this game through no fault of his own. He's got his wall coming up at the natural now, and he is nice and safe, and, you know, it's not the biggest of deals because he can transition very well from a Stargate, but to invest some chrono boost into it and have it scouted and probably shut down very easily, it's kind of tough. We've got 2 Queens down at the natural. We've got Queen in the main base as well. Needs some kind of extra protection in the main, though.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend getting a Spore there.
Yeah, he needs a Spore. I mean, 2 Queens can take on an Oracle, but 1 Oracle can kill off a Queen. Yeah. And there we see a Spore crawling out on the way in the natural, but still that main base is a little bit fragile. And straight away, a Void Ray on the way out for Stardust. Now, that's a little bit interesting. Let's see how much damage this Oracle does, though.
It's a wonder if Stardust is going to try and take a really quick fur base behind this.
This Oracle is going to kill the Queen. And, you know, that's why you need that little bit of extra protection in the main base. So, yeah. A slight slip up by Minato. Game ending, no. Game changing, not really, because he's actually got more Queens ready to inject. And he's already got a good amount of creep tumors down. So, honestly, it's probably not that much. And it's probably quite nice to actually get the Oracle on such low HP, so...
Yeah, definitely.
You mentioned a third base for Stardust, and he definitely could. I mean, he went for this very fast Void Ray, which has just cleaned up an Overlord.
Yep.
And, you know, when you open with a Void Ray this kind of quickly, a lot of possibilities are open to you. You can keep making them Void Rays. We do see a Forge and a Robo coming down. It's very possible this Void Ray is just to do the job of Phoenixes a little bit faster and also play some mind games on Minato, because Minato sees 1 Void Ray, and now he has to consistently scout to try and find out how many more there are. But he's not going to be able to do that because he's lost his Overlord, which was near the Stargate, and Lings aren't going to get into the main base where Void Rays could be hidden. So it puts doubts in Minato's mind. Is he 2-base all in me with Void Rays? Is he macroing with Void Rays? When really, I don't think Stardust is going to use any more Void Rays for a little while here as he can invest into his +1 and he gets his rubber facility on the way.
Yeah, and we do actually have a hallucinated Oracle going to go out there. And it's very weird, still not a fair base coming down from Minato, which is really, really weird. So far at the moment, I think he's actually going down now to take it.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I think he's just playing it out very safely. He needs to take it soon, though. The Oracle's going to get the kill on the drone. So that drone's going to go down. Still is it by a little bit longer here. I mean, his third base is late because of just the way in which Stardust opened, which is very aggressively.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to rush out that third base. And you can see he's going for the Ling upgrades as well. And considering it was against the Gateway expand, he couldn't go for the free hatch gasless. So he's just getting his upgrades out first and then getting his third base slightly later. It's not the best in terms of economy-wise, but it's very safe.
Yeah. And
he wouldn't die to any kind of 2-base all-in, really, unless, their execution was exceptional from Stardust, which it could be, but it looks as though Stardust will just take a third base here, maybe. I mean, 4th and 5th gate on the way, Robo Bay on the way as well. Not really Chrono Burst now, any upgrades.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to go into Colossi, but I highly doubt he's just going to do it off of 2 bases and not take a third.
Yeah, he won't have the army supply to be able to continue with this, as he is only on 2 bases. And it's a wee bit late now because Zerg will start to get into this sort of power movement where them Larva and Jacks start kicking in, and drones will just pump out, and that's third base will be saturated within a matter of like a minute or two. And then after that, all he's going to be thinking about is Lings and Haders, as we can see that are being produced right now at the moment. So he's going to have to try and take a third base and hold on that Stardust job for the moment until he does get them classes out, which is going to give him a bit of leeway with this army.
Minato's kind of back to this Ling Hydra style, but of course he's got these upgrades on the Lings as well. Groovespan's about to finish up and he's looking for a timing here, which can be very scary for Stardust, because at this point in time he's only just got his first Colossi, so he's probably going to be okay, especially with a few sentries here, and just the way that Yeonsu works, loses a few Lings there, and this is why, you can't really do anything on Yeonsu. He's the ramps are very narrow. It's very easy to shut off Lings like that, and Stardust will just get ready to take a third base over to this right-hand side, which is kind of expected. I mean, it's the better third base to take. You can defend it with the rocks. You've got 2 ramps, just force field basically, to defend both your natural and your third. So really Stardust taking a pretty expected third base location and just slowly getting his upgrades. +1 armors on the way, another Colossi on the way, extended thermal lance. Nothing too crazy. Muscular augments coming down, and 2-2 as well for his Lings. So Minato not really doing anything too crazy either, and not looking for any kind of huge tech switch at this point, as his own third base has only just finished up, actually.
That third base is only actually getting saturated now, so they both are on basically the same sort of economy. It's just the player that's going to come out with the best transition here that's really going to win. At the moment, if he lets Stardust do his own thing, Stardust will eventually get that army that will walk over him, especially if he stays on their Hydra attack. So I sort of do feel that a Muta switch may come in to play here, because he hasn't produced Phoenix out of that Stargate. It's only Void Rays that are coming out right now, but he is continuing to make classes. And he doesn't have that big amount of Stalkers, and he only does have 2 Void Rays. Second Void Ray is being produced right now. So maybe a Muta switch could be the way to win this game for him. But honestly, I think if he doesn't Muta switch, or if he doesn't do a big transition, that this game is over.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, the Colossi numbers are really starting to rack up now, and he isn't going into that fast hive, which we sometimes see for the Viper timings, and he is throwing down that Spire. So he's got 2 options. He either goes for the Muta switch, which isn't really looking realistic with his amount of gas right now. He's still not even taking gas at his third base, which is the real issue here. He can't really afford enough Corruptors even. So it's going to be very tough for him to actually engage this army, and he's going to have 2-2, which is one advantage, but that's only on his Lings. And there's then force fields to contend with as well, and he's going to lose a lot of creep to the right-hand side. So he's going to launch a huge counterattack, which may be one way. He comes back in this, and guess what? That Zealot isn't on hold position, but he gets pushed into it. And just at the right moment there, things went into place for Stardust, and these Lings just still checking around. They've actually found these rocks around the back, and they're going to break in, and, well, how's Stardust going to deal with this? He's got this sentry, which does force field the ramp at the natural. But the natural nexus is just going to go down, but this is a lot of Lings he's going to lose for completely free here. Yeah, he's it's not going to be worthwhile in terms of army trade, but I mean, killing that nexus is nice. But what you've got to worry about now is the counterattack, because he's just thrown away 40 Lings, and he killed off a Nexus, which doesn't affect Stardust for about another 3 minutes here when that lack of mining actually kicks in. So, can he hold on from this attack right now? I mean, he's got a few Hydras out here. He's getting ready to go for an attack from either side, but it's so difficult with 2 Void Rays and 4 Colossi. I'm not sure if Minato's going to have enough.
Oh. He's actually pushing Stardust back here.
Pushing him back down the ramp, but I mean, still, them Colossi are such a big pushing force. They've got so much firepower in them. Some Corruptors are out. Is it going to be a fairly nice concave for our Zerg player? But I'm still not sure if it's going to be enough here. Them upgrades aren't really going to help him out because he doesn't have that missile attack upgrade, and these Colossi are just going unanswered for, and so many Hydras are just left over, which are just not going to do anything at all, and Corruptors are coming out a few at a time, but Void Rays deal with them so easily. The Stalkers are here as well, and more Lings come out, but there's just too much splash damage, and GG well played.
Minato
Stardust.